Okay, this is the next part of the windowsill restoration. I have painted this part of the window frame that I restored last time. I caulked under that little gap like I said I was going to. And I added pink insulation. I kind of stuffed this seam with insulation. I could have gone with a foam, which I hear is better, but I didn't do that. I had some insulation, extra insulation lying around, so I just stuffed it in that crack. I did have a can of foam, but it was expired, quite a few years expired. I wasn't sure what it was going to do, and once you spray one of those cans, you have to use up the whole can, and this was, I thought, was going to be a small amount, so I didn't do it. Now it's time to put on the exterior casings. Now, the casings that were on there rotted out, and there are probably a couple of reasons. One was the material was pine trim, which is the easiest available and cheapest material, but you can see it rotted right at the end where it goes onto the windowsill. Now, it looks like I might have primed the end. It's a little hard to tell, but I do see white paint there. I didn't back prime the entire board, but I do see some white paint there, so I might have primed the ends. But it wasn't good enough, whatever I did, okay? So on this one, I want to do a better job, so what I did was I got the 4-inch, this is a 4-inch trim, 3.5 inch is the actual width. I got cedar this time, based on the idea that the cedar would be more rot resistant. I was possibly a little bit more careful in sealing the ends with oil-based paint, which I might not have used oil-based paint on the other one, and I completely back primed it. This is going to be the front side. Okay, it's naughty, but none of this is going to show after it's painted. Okay, I'm going to use oil-based primer, 2 coats of top coat, and I'm just hoping that this won't rot because I'm doing a better job and because the cedar is more rot resistant. Okay, that's the idea. It's the rough side is going to face the house. I got this surfaced on basically 3 sides, 2 edges and 1 face. I cut it to 12 degrees, and I've back primed it now. And I'm using 2.5 inch stainless steel ring shank nails, mold it in, which is what I used previously on the pine that didn't make it. Okay, like I mentioned before, I did caulk underneath that part of the window frame, and I just wanted to point this out. If you look at the date code on this caulk, from my understanding, the way to read this is take the first digit, you ignore it. The next 2 digits is the year, so this is 2010, and then the next 3 are the date of the day of the year, so 173 or something like that. So this is over 11 years old, so it technically might be out of expiration, but what I've heard is that if you have an old one, which I did have this old one that I inherited, if you lay a strip of it out and let it sit for 20 minutes, and then you just go feel it, and if it's not curing, which is to say it's not hardening, then it's no good. But if it does harden, then they say it's okay. And I have heard that the acrylic caulk lasts better than the silicone caulk. But in any case, I only needed a very small amount of the caulk for that section right there, so I did go ahead and use that small amount, and it seems to work. I did put it on I did test it first. Now I have already put up the new board on one side. Okay, you can see I put 5 nails down on the outer side, and that goes right through the 2x4 frame. That's where that spacing is. And then I use 3 nails on the inner side, where it goes into the window frame. Okay, when you're banging new casing onto the window frame, it does knock the window, a lot of vibration, but it seems to be okay. Okay, I only put 3 of them in here, and it seems to be fine. So the next step is I'll paint it with the primer, put on 2 coats. I'll caulk this section here. I will end up caulking on the clapboard side, but I have some repairs to do on the clapboard side, so I won't get to that right away. And what I'll do is I'll just hit pause here while I put it up on the other side, and then take a shot from the outside. Okay, here's the view from the outside. I had a nail, one of the nails hit something, maybe another nail, so I pulled that out. I put 5 nails down the outside, and you can see it doesn't meet perfectly at the bottom. Part of that is because of the reconstructed sill. I didn't precisely match that angle. Now I'll caulk that up completely after I prime this, just like I caulked it there. Hopefully that'll be okay. Here's the other side. That one is actually a little bit closer, and I'll caulk in that little crack, caulk around here. Now you can see I have woodpecker damage on my siding. That's a totally separate issue. I'll have to take care of that next, or maybe next. And then I'll need to put on the triple track storm window. So I'm getting close. Here I had another nail hit a hard object, and then I was trying to get it out and I broke it off, so I'll just fill that. That should be fine. So anyway, that's the report. Okay, thanks.